What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up? Back again with another video, another NFL picks video. Today we're going to be doing week 7. If you were around for my previous 2 picks, or my previous 2 videos, for week 6, you could tell that, sorry about that, someone's fire alarm was going crazy. But yeah, anyways, if you've been around or kind of watched my last 2 videos, I didn't do great in week 6. I think I got like 6 or 7 of the 14 or 15 games wrong, so I was at about a 50% correct, or 50% accuracy. But hoping to do a little bit better this week, So, let's just jump right in. Hopefully you should see this about now. Yeah. Someone left a comment and said that the brightness, if I could put it in dark mode, so this is what this site's dark mode is, and I also switched my, my browser to be dark mode as well. So hopefully that's better. Let me know. I can try and tweak it a little bit, but I'm not sure how much more I can kind of lower it, unfortunately, so I apologize, but hopefully this is better. So, you all know it. AFC, NFC, NFC. So, let's just jump right in with Thursday's game. Steelers-Bengals. So, Steelers are currently, 4-1, I think. Let me just double check. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 4-1. So, they're at the top of the AFC North. The rest of the AFC North looks pretty bad. Ravens are just completely hobbled with injuries. Browns have no idea what they're doing offensively. Defensively, they look okay. They've been really good in some moments and kind of mediocre in others. The Bengals are somehow number 2 in the AFC North. They just traded for Joe Flacco before the start of last week. And he actually looked pretty decent against the Packers. I gotta say, having an actual experienced professional quarterback running that offense with those weapons, I mean, they looked better. I will say, though, against the Steelers, I don't think that they're going to be very successful. I think the Steelers' offense has been looking better each week. I really like how Aaron Rodgers is playing with DK Metcalf. I like that connection a lot. And their defense is just, it's still pretty solid. So I think I feel comfortable saying that the Steelers are going to take that W on Thursday, tomorrow's game. Next game, Patriots at Titans. Patriots are rolling right now. Every week they're getting better. I've heard some jokes that Drake May is the second coming of Tom Brady. He may even be better than Tom Brady, we don't know yet, but I would scream if the Patriots actually had 2 Tom Bradys in a row. I would be unbelievably mad. 20 years of dominance, 1 or 2 years of not so great, and then they're back to dominance. That's insane. Versus the Titans. Titans just fired their head coach. I have no idea what that organization is doing. Cam Ward. I mean, I like Cam Ward. I think he's going to be a gunslinger in this league, but I don't think that they're going to beat the Patriots. Even though it's at home, I don't see the Patriots losing that game, so I'm going to take the Patriots. Raiders, Chiefs. Raiders, both of these teams got wins last week. Kansas City looked really good against the Lions. The Raiders looked pretty solid, relatively to past prior weeks that they've played. I know I didn't see this when I had made my recap video maybe two days ago now, I think. But there was a report that came out about the penalties of specifically roughing the passer for all teams, and the Chiefs had also, I think it was both sides of the ball, where they had 40-something% less calls on their defense. Like if Chris Jones got a sack or something, or like hit a quarterback late, there was a 50% or something, like it was some like crazy stat like that where they didn't get called. Like they got called half the amount of times as the next closest team. And then I think it was on the flip side that Patrick Mahomes got roughing, or like if someone hit him late, he got the roughing, or the team got the roughing the passer call against the defense 50% more than any other team, which is that's crazy. Like the league needs to investigate that crap like right now if that's actually the case. Like that's super messed up. I don't care if you're a Chiefs fan. Like that's not, like, you gotta have integrity in the game, otherwise it's not fun to watch. Like, you know what I mean? So all that being said, it doesn't change the result of any of the games that have already been played. Maybe it'll change something going forward. I don't know. The NFL likes money, and the Chiefs make a lot of money for them. So we'll see. But I think that the Chiefs are starting to play really well. We'll see how they play. Kind of as we're getting into the second half of the season. I think that their offense is just going to get better and better. I think Rasheed Rice comes back week 8, maybe. So I think next week he'll be back. And I think that team will look completely different with, like, actual offensive weapons, because at the start of the season they were bad. They looked really bad on offense. And their defense is starting to play a little bit better, I guess, but I don't really believe that much in the Chiefs defense, to be honest. I don't know. There's just something about it that I don't like. I don't find them to be like a very dangerous defense. Again, all that being said, I think the Chiefs are going to win this one. The Raiders have been very hot and cold with, like, in a single game and also just in general. So I just don't really see them being able to take the Chiefs, especially at home. Next game is Dolphins-Browns. I don't know. Like, I don't want to take it again. I feel like I'm leaning towards Miami, in all honesty. But, like, I feel like that's a bad pick. I have no idea who's going to win this one. You know what? I'm just going to take the Browns because it's at home. I'll just defer to the home team. Tua has been playing terrible. That team, like, organizationally, and the morale just has to be at an all-time low. Like, I don't understand it. How that team went from being, like, so exciting to watch to this. Well, I mean, I kind of do know, like, CTE is setting in, even in people that haven't been hit very hard on, like, the personnel that they have on, like, coaching staff. Some of them are like, that's crazy. Brian Flores might have been right. Just putting it out there. Alright. I honestly don't know the whole story with that. I just know that he and Tua had beef because he wasn't, like, or it was like something defensive. I forget exactly what it was, but I remember it was something to do with Tua and the defense. It was like 4 separate things. I was like, come on. Alright, anyways, next game. Colts at Chargers. Man, Chargers got the win last week, but it was close. Colts look really good. They look really good. And the Chargers got a lot of injuries. Oh, man, I might take the Colts on this one. I still think the Chargers are going to be something. I know that they're going to be looking for people at the trade deadline, specifically on the offensive line. But, because they got a ton of injuries and a ton of gaps there. But, this is a tough pick. I could see the Chargers having, like, just a random spur-of-the-moment game and taking it to the Colts, especially at home. But I think I'm going to take the Colts. They just look really good. I mean, they look unstoppable running the ball, like, genuinely. Like, they look amazing. Alright, next game we got Rams. Well, I guess not at Jaguars because it's in London, but I think this will be a really fun game to watch. I'm excited for this one. I think Puka is questionable as of Wednesday. So if he's playing, I might give the edge to the Rams. If he's not playing, I might take the Jaguars on this one. Oh man, that's a tough one. I feel like after Puka went out last week, obviously they just didn't look like a very dominant offense, which makes sense. Like, you would expect that. So if he's not playing, I have a really hard time like seeing this game being as competitive as I think it normally would be. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna defer to I like Matthew Stafford, I like Devontae Adams, I like Kyron Williams. I believe in them more than I believe in the offensive unit of the Jags. So I think I'm just gonna take the Rams. I was kind of talking my way into picking the Jaguars, but at the last second I kind of swerved away from that. Alright, next pick. Oh man, Panthers at Jets. That's a tough one. So, okay, Jets are the worst team in the league. They have not won a game yet. They're 0-6. Panthers are 3-3. 3-3. So the Panthers are actually not horrible. I don't think they're good, but they're not 0-6 bad. Let me put it that way. The Jets have stuff to figure out up and down their roster, in terms of players and coaching and executive personnel, to be honest. I have a hard time seeing the Panthers losing this game. I would be really surprised unless the Jets just have a completely amazing day. But I think with my gut, I gotta go with the Panthers. Alright, sorry, I just have a gummy worm. Just a little snack, sorry. Alright, next game. We got Giants at Broncos. Alright, Giants beat the Eagles. I'll be really honest. I don't think they're replicating that level of play against the Broncos. I just don't. The Broncos defense is better than the Eagles, hands down. So, it's also in Denver, which I think is going to be a factor. Hopefully, I will say, the way that I see the Giants winning this game is if Bo Nix plays horribly. I'm talking 2-3 picks, really inaccurate. I don't know. I'm not saying it will happen because I think the Giants defense is it's okay. You know what I mean? It's passable. I don't think it's gonna force him into some horrible situations or anything like that, but I don't know. I could see that's the only way I can see the Giants coming away with a win is Bo Nix plays terrible and both Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart have the game of their life. You know what I mean? I just can't see it. But then again, I said the same thing for Philly, so maybe I'll be wrong again. But I'm gonna take Denver. I think that's a pretty safe pick. All right, next. Ooh, this will be a good one. Texans at Seahawks. And sorry, I tried to keep the ads, the brightness of the ads away from the recording as long as I could. But I gotta scroll, so sorry about that. But Texans at Seahawks. Texans. They've been winning games. What are they? They're 2-3. Yeah, to be honest, I think they've been winning games kind of by I don't want to say the skin of their teeth, but they've won the games that they probably should win, and then they lost. You know what I'm getting at. But their defense is amazing. offense is pretty bad. The Seahawks have been playing pretty well. I think they're 4-2. 4-2. Wow, the NFC West. 5-2, 4-2, 4-2, 2-4. Wow, that's pretty good. Sam Darnold's been playing well. JSN looks really good. I mean, he looks like the best receiver in the league right now. This will be a really tough one because I feel like it's kind of like almost a stalemate because I don't think the Seahawks defense is all that special this year. I could be wrong about that. I'm not totally sure, but I haven't heard a lot about the Seattle defense. Whereas like their offense looks to be kind of the spot or the side of the ball that's winning them games. In terms of like, I think their offense is a lot better than their defense versus the Texans, whose defense is a lot better than their offense. So I think it's kind of like a stalemate matchup. It is in Seattle, so I don't know. Like this one, I think could go either way, depending on how both sides of the ball play. Like Houston's defense versus like Seattle's offense. Like if Seattle can find a way to like get past that, like score on that defense, I think they have a shot. But we're 6 weeks in, and not a lot of teams have found success playing the Texans defense. So we'll see. I'm gonna take the Seahawks though. I don't know if my analysis made any sense, but it made sense as I was thinking about it in my head. All right, next game. Eagles at Vikings. That could be a fun one to watch. Vikings are 3-2? Yeah, they're 3-2. Eagles are 4-2. They've had 2 tough losses. So, I do feel like, and they got some breakdowns happening in their on their roster. Like I feel like AJ Brown is getting kind of mad. Devontae Smith is getting, not as many touches maybe as he would like. Minnesota, I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, Minnesota's winning games. I don't feel like they're winning games, like, in a dominant way, if that makes sense. Man, I think I might take the Eagles, but that's a toughie. This is a tough pick for me. I feel like this could, again, go either way, but I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I don't see them losing 2 weeks in a row, or like after a game what I'm trying to say is I don't see them losing after last week's performance. Like, that was crazy. That was wild. Alright, next game. Saints at Bears. I think that'll be a good game. Saints have actually been looking somewhat solid. They're just not winning the game. Like, they're fun to watch. It's just like they're not scoring more points. These ads are really annoying, sorry. They like keep flickering. Sorry, that's super annoying. I'm trying to get rid of that, but okay. I think I'm gonna take the Bears though. They're looking pretty solid. I have to say, Caleb Williams looks a lot better than he did at the beginning of the season. Their defense looks pretty good too. I think they're just gonna be a better team. All right, Packers at Cardinals. I think the Packers have like 6 away games in a row, which is kind of crazy. But we did start the season, I think 4 home games, and then we had our bye. But yeah, so that kind of sucks. But our schedule isn't like crazy, if I remember like what it is. Oh my god, these ads are killing me right now. But yeah, we don't have a crazy schedule. I know we play the Broncos soon, and then we play the Steelers sometime, and also we play the Ravens later this year. But yeah, I don't know. But I feel like the Packers should win this game. Like, if they lose, I remember the divisional game in like 2016 or something like that. When the Cardinals were like really good. I think they were like the 2nd or 3rd seed. We went to Arizona and there was literally more Packer fans in the stadium than there were Cardinals fans, because like people from Wisconsin, well, first, the Packers are one of the most popular teams in the entire world. But a lot of people from like Wisconsin and the Midwest, they'll retire in Arizona, or they'll be like snowbirding, you know, where you're in Wisconsin for half the year and then you're in like a warmer place like Florida or Arizona or something for the other half. So like at that time of the year, everyone was in Arizona. And it was actually really, there was like way more green and gold than, I think it's red and white is typically their colors, but I guess it could also be like red and black. But yeah, I'm taking the Packers for this one. Hopefully they don't let me down, but we'll see. We'll see. Washington at Cowboys. I think I'm going to take Washington. I like Washington this year. They had a bit of a slower start because Jaden Daniels was out, and they also had some other injuries, but I think that they're building some good momentum. The Cowboys' defense is really bad. They're giving up like 30 points to every single team that they've played, pretty much. Their offense looks great. Like George Pickens and Dak Prescott look amazing. Dak is putting up MVP performances every single week. But yeah, crazy. I think I'm gonna take Jaden Daniels and the Commanders though. All right, the Falcons against the Niners. So the Falcons put the freaking pedal to the metal against the Bills. Bijan Robinson is probably, if I had to say, like top 2, top 3 running back in the NFL this season. Like, I mean, that dude's a monster, like a genuine monster. And then Drake London played really well as well. I think he had like 150 yards or something like that receiving. But yeah, 49ers lost Fred Warner. I don't know. They got injuries everywhere. I don't really trust Michael Penix Jr. to like consistently get those wins and like perform at like a high level consistently. I mean, he's still young, so like I'm not saying he'll never get there, but I do worry about his ability to consistently do that. But I think what I'll do is I might take Atlanta. That might be my crazy pick, my hot take of the week. I don't know. I don't want to just go off recency bias with Buffalo. But like the 49ers are so hurt. I mean, they're finding ways to win games, which is great, but sooner or later, like something's gonna give, you know what I mean? And I just feel like they're gonna lose like maybe 1 or 2 in a row, and then they're just gonna lose like 5, you know what I mean? Like there's only so much patching you can do before something collapses, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know how I feel about that pick, but we'll see how it goes on Sunday. Alright, last game of the week. The Bills and the Ravens are on bye, so if you didn't see them, that's why. Bucks at Lions, that'll be a really good game. Buccaneers have been, honestly, probably my favorite team to watch this season. Baker Mayfield, it's like, I know I've said this before, but I used to not really like him very much. But over the past, like, probably 3 seasons, he's really grown on me, and I honestly really like him. Like, at home against the Lions after they got kind of pummeled by the Chiefs, I have a hard time seeing the Buccaneers winning this game, to be honest. I think Detroit is a hard stadium to play at. Like, those fans are passionate, man. They're passionate. But, like, the Buccaneers have just been playing so well against pretty much everybody. I got the Steelers over the Bengals, New England Patriots over the Tennessee Titans, Kansas City Chiefs over the Las Vegas Raiders, Cleveland Browns over the Miami Dolphins, Indianapolis Colts over the LA Chargers, LA Rams over the Jaguars in London, Carolina Panthers over the New York Jets, Denver Broncos over the New York Giants, Seattle Seahawks over the Houston Texans, Philadelphia Eagles over the Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears over the New Orleans Saints, Green Bay Packers over the Arizona Cardinals, Washington Commanders over the Dallas Cowboys, Atlanta Falcons over the San Francisco 49ers, and the Detroit Lions over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, and with that, I'm just looking at what the rankings would be for each team after these picks, if this is how it goes. And the Packers would be number 1 in the entire NFC and number 1 in the NFC North, which it's wishful thinking, but whatever, who cares? All right, and I think with that, perfect. All right, so that is my Week 7 picks video. Let me know if you disagree with any of these. Let me know if you think your team's gonna win. I'm hoping to be a little bit more accurate this week. I feel like I got bamboozled a little bit. In my defense, I feel like a lot of those games, the outcomes were not expected. So, oh well. But it is what it is. So, thank you everyone for watching. As always, really appreciate the continuous support. Yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. So, yeah, I will catch you guys later.